Hi, Ira. How are you?
I'm well, Iris, and yourself?
I am so great now that you're here, and I just want to give you thanks, first of all, for coming on because I know you have been super busy. You're speaking, you're teaching, you're winning awards here and there.
Yes.
So lately, you have built an awesome, awesome brand, right?
Well, that what I have, and I'm honored to be here with you because most people don't know, or maybe they do. I would never be obtaining these achievements and with this brand if it were not for you.
Well, you did all the work. So, you've got to give yourself credit. But
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so much. I am so honored that you're here. So you and I, in the past, we've worked together. I've
Hmm.
coached you. You were one of my students, and now I see you soaring. I see you all over the place. It looks like, on Facebook and doing these speaking events and
Yes.
winning awards and all that stuff. But before you got into that point, I know you and I were actually talking about your personal brand as well as
Hmm.
creating courses,
Yes.
right, for your students, for your clients. So one of the things that I want to ask you about is, what made you decide to create courses for your students?
Well, I've learned something when we first started working together, and I noticed that you did a lot of research. You were very meticulous about the research that you did that would help with the brand. And so, and you always talked about always being relevant and keeping your brand. And so I've had to rebrand a couple of times, but it was from lessons I taught from you. So long story short, I was watching, I can't think of the gentleman's name, Tony Robbins. He was with someone else, and they were talking about how the information industry is like 3 point something billion dollars per day. And I said, are you kidding me? Creating courses like Iris did me will get, so that is what kind of piqued my interest, not only for the money, of course, but because I'm like, oh, so I can reach more in less time by creating these courses. And so it's sort of kind of for me, I could give value to more people creating courses versus me having live events, doing speaking events. I could add, and also with the information that this was a $3.7 billion industry per day, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to kind of really check into this and take some webinars and create these courses.
Awesome. Yes, and you're absolutely right. It is growing. The coaching industry is growing every single day. And as a matter of fact, you know exactly what's going on in the world right now.
Yes.
And everyone is going on that online courses. They're
Mhm.
creating courses and things like that. And some people are somewhat having a hard time doing it because
Yeah.
they don't really know how
Mhm.
to do, they don't have the framework, right? They
Right.
don't have
Right.
the steps they need to do. So one of the things that really, it helped you in a way because I've given you the framework,
Mhm.
you
Yes,
have
you
the
did.
steps on how to do that, and you were able to do that. So I am curious nowadays, what type of courses have you been able to create since then for your students?
Well, I stayed true to staying in my lane. And one of the first courses, I kind of mimic how my branding coach did me, which was you. And you started off with a program. So I created one of my first programs that you helped me create was my publishing, well, writing a book and publishing a book. And so I said, let me add the speaking and the publishing a book together because most people have their stories. Most of the people I work with, clients, it's about their story first, and it intertwines with their, either if they're entrepreneur or a speaker. And so I kind of created that framework of 5 weeks with the course content of publishing a book and telling your story. So that was my very first course content that I gave, something I learned how to do. And of course, the second one was I split them up, and it was more or less in depth of how you write a book, when you write a book, um, how you create your story, and the other one was the speaking, of getting in front of people and drafting your story and kind of putting it together. So that is the first content that I use, something that I first started off with, which was publishing a book, and it's gone very well, very, very well.
Congratulations, congratulations. I know so many people out there need your help, need your services on that. And then having the framework, having the steps and things like that to teach them on. will really simplify a lot of these headaches that
Yes.
many entrepreneurs and course creators face every single day because they
Yes.
don't have a proven system. And that's,
Yes.
that's what we have. You and
Yes.
I have that. So in regards to courses and things like that, I know you've been able to help clients, and I know you continue to help clients out there. So tell me about some of the results they've been getting from working with you as well, from your courses, from your program.
I'm going to use two in particular. One
Okay.
is he's an immigrant. He was an immigrant, and he has an awesome story of how he came from Haiti to the U.S. and got married and had to build himself. And he took a course to be to help his family, basically, because, they don't have everything that we need. And I heard his amazing story about how he wanted to be he wanted to create a brand called Dream. And I asked him why. And long story short, he wanted to help people, motivate people on how they could come from an international scene and come here and build a brand. And his was insurance. So he took the insurance test like 11 times and failed it. And the 12th time, he passed. And so I helped him create a story. And this young man now is at schools. He's at colleges. It's slowed down a little bit now because of what we're going on. So this week we're working on actually what we're talking about, creating course content. But this young man is, he hasn't gone international yet, but when this coronavirus is over, he'll be going international as well next year. Another lady, from what I find with some of the Gen X people who are 35 and older, they have achieved great feats in the corporate world. And this particular lady has been an RN since she graduated college, since forever. She's been an RN over 25 years, and she said there's got to be more. And she actually built her business. She already had a business, and it was based off forgiveness from her having a marriage that she had to be divorced from, and what she went through. We created a book. And in her creating this book, she now is receiving speaking engagement. She has her one-page sheet, and she's doing awesome. And so that's just an example of two of the clients I've had in the last 90 days.
Wow, that is amazing, amazing. So, as you know, creating courses, you don't have to be a teacher. You don't
Right.
have to be a specific industry, right?
Right.
It could be speakers, it could be consultants, coaches, obviously.
Yes.
Almost anybody in the industry can create courses. So my last question for you is, what would be your best advice for someone who is just starting out in the coaching industry and then creating their courses?
A 3-word verse: get a mentor.
Yes.
Get a mentor. I'm telling you, once you get a mentor, the mentors know the software that you need or the apps. They know the jargon. They know the content. They help you specific, but you have to specify. It's really important to specify. And I think that was my problem at first. I was everywhere, and once I got my niche, that's the one thing you really, really helped me understand. Got to get your niche, Ira, and I found that. And so once I found that, it was just it's time to go. But get a mentor. They know the apps you need. They know the information that you don't know. And it could be something that's knowing what Dropbox is. I didn't know what Dropbox was. I didn't know what Zoom was. I didn't know what BeLive was. I didn't know any of that until I received my mentor. So if it's any advice, and I want them to get this, get a mentor, a credible mentor, a credible mentor.
Absolutely, absolutely, because it can really fast track your way to
Yes,
success,
yes,
right?
yes.
So instead of having to spend the next 5 or 10 years figuring things out on your
Yeah,
own,
yeah.
you get someone who is the expert in that field to help you along, right? And that way you can just take off, just like you, Ira.
Yeah.
So again, congratulations to
Thank
all
you.
the things that you're doing. I know you're doing phenomenal work out there, and it's just more things are coming your way.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ira. I'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Iris. You have a good day.